So, a lot of people have been messaging me and asking me what my thoughts are on the announcement that the 13th Doctor has been casted as Jodie Whittaker. They've all been asking me, what do I think? And I will sum it up in one word, and that one word is excited. I honestly, genuinely am super excited to see her play the 13th incarnation of the Doctor. And in this video, I'll go over some reasoning behind my opinion and some other people's thoughts. So, why am I excited? Well, it really hit me on the second to last episode with Capaldi, well, not counting the Christmas special, when Doctor Who suddenly took a very, very dark tone indeed. Upon that ship, Bill and some others, obviously I'm not going to go into details in case people find this to be spoilers, it did take a very dark tone, and although some people do like that, I personally am not a great fan of this darkness in Doctor Who brought on by Moffat. But furthermore, in fact, Doctor Who is the viewership of TV, the TV viewership of Doctor Who is falling, and of course that isn't taking into consideration iPlayer views. Obviously more people are watching on iPlayer, but overall the general trend is that over time Doctor Who is falling in viewers. And although it doesn't matter to old Whovians, it does indirectly, because ultimately if views fall, BBC will probably, you know, what they did with Class. Of course that's unlikely to happen as it's one of their biggest shows. But again, if Doctor Who is to be successful, we have to have viewers still, and we need to attract new Whovians. And the biggest thing about Capaldi is, whenever I've spoken to people outside of this community, to people who aren't as big fans of Doctor Who, they will tell me, he's that old guy, I stopped watching after him. Because they are all fans. These are people that aren't as much fans as we are, but these are people who loved David Tennant and loved Matt Smith, especially because of he was young, he was funny, enthusiastic, whereas Capaldi was a much more serious, philosophical person, and that's fine, that's exciting to some people. And I hope, I cannot say this for certain, of course, I am excited because I really think this is a fantastic opportunity in Doctor Who for her to change, and the new writer, obviously we've got a new writer as well. That's super exciting, a new, like a rewrite as it were, of Doctor Who, a new fresh start that can be changing the whole future of the show. And that's why I'm excited. But some other people aren't as excited as me. They are not too happy with this pick at all. And look, I'm not gonna try and gloss over the fact that yes, for 50 years it has been a white male who's played the Doctor, and this obviously is a change. No one is denying that. Some people are perhaps being a bit more vocal about this, if you saw my live stream. And their reasoning behind this is that for 50 years, the Doctor has been regenerating into obviously a new actor, but he is meant to be the same person, just behind a new face. And they think that because it is now a complete change into a new gender as well, it's going to be harder to convince the audience that that is the same person as Capaldi or that Doctor. That reasoning I understand. I think it's a fair reason, but at the same time, each Doctor has actually had their own personality. Matt Smith was much more active, funny, running around and stuff, obviously, whereas Peter Capaldi was much more serious and a bigger thinker. So that reasoning kind of is watered down by the fact that each actor and writer who has their turn makes it their own, as it were. So at the end of the day, the last news that we got when Bill was announced, or Pearl Mackie was announced to play this, I sat here and did a similar video, and I was quite critical. We'd not really seen much from Pearl Mackie, and I wasn't that overwhelmingly excited, but I was totally shocked. In the first episode, I loved her character. That has never happened. I'm always very, you know, not trusting, as it were, of a new character to Doctor Who, but for the first time in the first episode I really liked her. So I think it's entirely possible people who ordinarily wouldn't like Jodie Whittaker may find themselves pleasantly surprised, and that is right. And I think anyone who decides to stop watching Doctor Who because it's a woman isn't a fan and they aren't a Whovian, and that's just my opinion.
Should be, if they're not kind, they're not receiving the show properly, and they're not really a fan of it.
Of course, it all remains to be seen in the Christmas special, although we probably won't see much from her then, maybe, who knows. People are protective of a show, and when there is a big change, this could be a big change, or a small change, who knows. but they're obviously going to react with caution, I think is the word. But personally, I'm really excited. I cannot wait to see what her doctor is like, and I really hope it brings back people to the show, because from the way it was looking, it wasn't going to be going very long. But that's just my thoughts on Jodie Whittaker being the 13th Doctor. It all remains to be seen at the end of the day, and I don't think it's right for our opinions to be completely formed just by that trailer where apparently the 2005 TARDIS is returning. So I think it's still very early days to be forming proper reviews of her as a Doctor. I mean, some people probably already are reviewing it. Cough, Daily Mail. But anyway, that's my thoughts. I'm excited. I cannot wait. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.